Hi, and good morning. Welcome again to another edition of Market Analysis for today, March the 16th. I'm Giovanni Benacore, analyst, trader, and operator with Vantage Markets. Well, it has been an adrenaline-filled week, and it is only Thursday. The wheels came off Silicon Valley Bank on Friday. Regulators swooped in over the weekend, but markets still swooned on Monday. On Tuesday, they recovered. Wednesday, Credit Suisse got some bad news, and bank shares dropped again. But at the end of the day, the Swiss National Bank came up with another backstop, $54 billion, 54 billion euros worth. That may be the end of the drama, or it may not. If history is any guide, no one knows what's next. Way back in 1998, it wasn't at all clear that a Russian default would lead to the collapse of long term capital management. Authorities managed to broker a way for LTCM to liquidate, but they were far from sure that a financial crisis would be avoided. At the end, the crisis didn't come. In August of 2007, the collapse of the subprime mortgage market led BNP Paribas to shut down several funds. Although a handful of people may claim otherwise, it was far from obvious that the chain of falling dominoes would lead to the downfall of Bear Stearns, Lehman Brothers, and eventually the Great Recession. When market turmoil is brewing, the only certainty is uncertainty. In such times, investors tend to hunker down and resort to safety, and the economy tends to suffer. Goldman Sachs this week increases odds for a U.S. recession to 35%. When animal spirits are pushing prices into wild swings, the most important information is usually what authorities are thinking. Thursday's press conference with European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde is crucial. She's certainly been in close contact with Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell and discussed plans for how to avert disaster. But like the rest of us, Lagarde and Powell don't know what the future holds. So it is left to us speculators of this market to come in and obviously try to figure out which way the market will run. And if technical analysis teaches us anything, is that we obviously say that price action discounts everything, the markets move in patterns, and the history repeats itself. So if that's the saying, or that's the technical analysis fundamentals, then we could say that if the market yesterday closed, and this is where it closed yesterday at 12,397, right? That's where it closed, way up here, but it had a low of you know of 12,094. So that being the case, the market today opened with a small gap up, but it's closely not vastly closed. So we could probably contemplate the idea that the market could either enter into a ranging consolidation stage, waiting for that news, waiting for more, more fire to be added, more wood to be added to the fire, or will this be a calm easing of the market and just finally striking back up to the highs of around 12,800? Or will we have more bad news and then the market will come out and revisit that low of March 13th? Okay, so that was just barely 3 days ago. So that's the things that we need to keep in mind. Obviously, here sideways, breakout to the upside or breakout to the downside. Let's see what will happen. And as far as the S&P goes, well, this candle opened up at 3952 and it closed at 3925, but this one opened up at 3918, 7 points below where the previous day closed. So it was a gap down. It has been closed. So the pressure to the downside is what is being shown here in the S&P. So will we continue the movement to the downside? Sell off 3850 yesterday was shy from being reached. Could we attempt at another visit of that level? That could be the case. As far as for the Dow, the same token goes. Another gap down has been closed, fluctuating lower. So we could perhaps come and revisit that 3150. market. As far as the crude oil goes, the market is really just on a big sell-off here. It perhaps it said that it found some footing at 65, marker. We did open with a gap, small gap down, small, but nevertheless a small gap. But that should be just sufficed for the market to come and find support right around $68. That will be the pivot point. So it could fluctuate above it or below it. Okay, which direction will it go? Right now, if we continue with the momentum that is previously followed, the price action will tell you, will guide you. So most likely the price action is showing us as pressure to the downside. That could probably happen. As far as Nat Gas goes, I've been saying that Nat Gas is in a very tight range, 20-cent range, and most likely going to continue to be in there some out of it. Not enough volatility in there to do something. And then we have here gold, which the pivot point is 1925. We have a 1900 as our support, 1950 as our resistance. Is looking to push higher. Gold this morning has been edging higher, and it's been held by a weak dollar. Now, prices did held below last session's 6-week peak as risk sentiment improved after Credit Suisse. You know, but early in this morning, we saw how gold traded above that 1925, looking to push higher. So we could probably be seeing more of that. The dollar index, like I said, is gonna help a lot with the direction of it. So if the dollar index continues to fall, we will see most likely prices to uh, push up to the higher. One thing that we obviously we're all expecting is is that we're expecting for the ECB to raise rates by another 50 basis points. On the other side of the Atlantic, traders largely expect the Federal Reserve to raise rates by 25 basis points next week. So 50 in Europe and 25 in the States. That could be something to consider. As far as silver goes, silver has risen, somewhat along with our other currencies, other metals. I'm sorry, but let's see what will happen with silver. I'm looking at silver to obviously to stay above 2150 and see if we can come back to that 2250 that previously has created like a roof on that. So that could probably be the case. Copper is the one that really broke that support of 4,000. Now it's become resistance. It's looking to trade lower. That's a pretty big gap in here that will open down. So the sentiment will be considered to be towards the downside. But if the earnings loses weakness again, that could probably held it. So that's important to keep an eye on. Bitcoin is looking to stay above 24, between 24 and 25,000. That's the sweet spot for right now. Could it do another ranging, just consolidation, just lateral movement? That could be the case. As far as the euro goes, 105 is the support, 107 is the resistance. It's really almost in the middle of it, of 106. But this is going to be also dependent on what the Ms. Lagarde comes out and saying. Will that help the euro? Will that help the dollar? We'll see. So be cautious about that. The same token goes with the pound. It's almost kind of flattish right now. So let's see what will happen. And this is the one that's going to help us determine or give us a guide if we see the dollar index, which it opened with a small gap down. So the pressure to continue push lower that could be seen. Uh, will it fluctuate before below 104 towards the 103.5 marker? That's what we wanted for it to see. No, that's what we want to see happen, so that things like metals and the currencies can obviously fluctuate higher. Well, those are my levels for today. See you tomorrow.